we will now move on to our next session. We have Vidwan P.V. Rajaramanji, who will be speaking on the topic Unveiling the Greatness of Vivekachudamani, a Guide to Liberation. Rajaramanji is a highly qualified individual with extensive academic and spiritual accomplishments. He holds a diploma, BE and a ME in computer science and has completed research in the field of natural language processing from Anna University. Currently, he serves as the Chief Technology Officer at the Adi Shankara Institute of Engineering and Technology in Kaladi. Previously, he was the head of the Department of Artificial Intelligence at the same university. In addition to these academic achievements, Rajaramanji has also pursued Adhyatma studies. He has studied Nyaya and Vedanta Shastra under the guidance of Brahmashri Goda Venkateshwara Shastrigal from 2009 to 2013. He has been doing Upanyasam since he was 18 years old. His spiritual pursuits have also earned him the prestigious Bhagavata Bhaswan Brahmashri Anjam Krishna Nambudiri Memorial Award in 2018 from Sri Ayappa Bhakta Sabha in Chennai. A very warm welcome to you, Rajaramanji. Thank you for making time for this session. We are very happy to have you. Please go ahead and start your session.
नमो नमः योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसूप्तां सञ्जीवयत्स किल शक्तिधरस्वदाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् वंशे विभूषितकरान्नवनीरदाभाते पीताम्बरातरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टाते पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णाः परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने भारती करुणापात्रं भारती पदभूषणं भारती पदमारूढ़ं भारती तीर्थमाश्रये विद्या विनय संपन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वंदे वेदांत तत्त्वज्ञं विदुषेखर भारतीम्. It is indeed a great bhagyam for me to talk on Vivekachudamani on the symposium on the Prakarana Granthas. Vivekachudamani happens to be a very huge Prakarana Grantha that contains around 581 verses, and this happens to be one of the introductory granthas for Vedanta or a Prakarana Grantha. That said, as one side of it, the lovers of Vivekachudamani would often use to tell that though Bhagavad-Acharya has presented this as a Prakarana Grantha, we will be able to appreciate Vivekachudamani more if we could complete the Prasthanatraya Patha. If we have done the Prasthanatraya Patha, then interestingly, the way in which Bhagavad-Acharya has presented Vivekachudamani, the same Vedantic principles in Vivekachudamani, happens to be, we'll be able to greatly appreciate it more. Starting from the eligibility to Guru Seva, Guru Upasati, ityadi. We would normally classify the topics of Vivekachudamani as with respect to discrimination between the real and the unreal, that which we call Viveka, and then the fourfold qualifications for liberation that we technically call Sadhana Chatushtaya, and then with respect to the role of a Guru, and then the nature of the Atman, then about Maya, then about the realization of the Atman, which is the Advaita Jnana, then with respect to Vairagya, and then with respect to mind, how mind plays a key role to getting relieved from bondage or to attain Atma Jnana, then the self-inquiry, and then Moksha, which is the bliss of liberation by itself. So this is how, when we prepare for handling a session on Vivekachudamani, we would. But given half an hour, and when I am asked to talk about the greatness of Vivekachudamani, if this topic has to be still more compressed into a single word, we will be calling that as clarity on Vedanta. The clarity with which Acharya has presented the Advaitic concepts in Vivekachudamani is an unparalleled way of representing it. That is why I mentioned one should have to go through the Upanishadic teachings and then have to come to Vivekachudamani. Then Vivekachudamani would be hugely appreciated. That is because in the Upanishads we do not see such a structure or such a beautiful ordering in which these topics are presented here. One of the best topics that I definitely wanted to touch upon in this half an hour is the role of the guru here. Everybody would have been like everybody would be familiar with it, but still, for my own wish and to recollect the bhavas, let us see how Acharya invokes the blessings of an Acharya, that is his Gurunatha, maybe Govinda Bhavatpadacharya in his mind, and we will be able to replace our own Acharya here. At least a few slokas have to be seen in this Prakarana, for sure, in which Acharya details upon the Lakshanas of an Acharya. So, Bhavatpadacharya lists here an Acharya, a Guru, has to be a one who is absolutely well versed in the Vedas, who is obviously sinless, who is not, who doesn't carry the desire, and who is the knower of the Atman or the Brahman, and who is Parak, who among the knower of Brahman, he is far and above, beyond all those people in the Marga, but he is par excellence. He has withdrawn himself into Brahman. He is calm. He is like a fire glowing, and that which has consumed all its fuel, who is a boundless reservoir of compassion. Shrotriyaha avrajinaha akamahataha yaha brahmavittamaha brahmani uparatasyantaha nirindhanaivanalaha ahetuka dhaya sindhuhu andurana satam shrotriyaha avrajinaha. Accidentally, even in Valmiki Ramayana, when Valmiki starts, it happens to be, the first sloka happens to be talking on the Guru Lakshanas only. Tapaswadhyaya niratam tapasvi bhagvidambaram naradam paripapracha Valmikir munipungavam tapaha tapaswadhyaya niratam swadhyaya niratam. In the Shastras, he should be a person who is par excellence, and he should be a knower of Brahman. He should be well versed in the Vedas. These are some qualities which cannot be compromised. It is not enough if he only understood the Tattva. It has to be a point that has to be made very clear that the Acharya has to be a great scholar by himself. This is something that we have to emphasize today. I will tell you why. It is not enough if he is only a Tattvajnani, one who has understood the Tattva clearly, but he should also be somebody who is able to deliver this knowledge or teach this to a Sishya, which is one of the most important qualities of an Acharya. That is why in Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki describes it as Vagvidambaram. Here also Shrotriyaha. Shrotriyaha also means who is well versed in Vedas, and it also means one who is able to deliver the Advaita Jnana to a Shishya in such a way that the disciple understands in a very pleasing way, so that he is able to comprehend the meaning. Shrotriyaha, Avrajinaha. All these are qualities that which can be seen in the Guru Parampara even today. Shrotriyaha, Avrajinaha, Akamahataha, Avrajinaha, one who is sinless. How can one be sinless? The beauty of this is, we can normally translate it as one who is not committing sins. But the one who has burnt his sins through attaining Atmajnana, he happens to be Avrajinaha, Akamahataha, one who is not carrying the load of desire with him wherever he goes. So a normal person who carries the load of desire wherever he goes, he definitely cannot live a very normal life. He is going to be constantly agitated by samsara. Akamahataha, yaha brahmavittamaha, brahmani uparataha, shantaha. nirindhana ivanalaha ahetukataya sindhu brahmani parataha. One who is constantly dwelling in Atmanubhava or Brahmanubhava. One who is always pleasant in nature, Shantaha, Nirindhana Ivanalaha. One of the important terms is the fire. He is glittering like a fire, that which has consumed his fuel. It has consumed all the summit. It has consumed all the fuel that is given to it, and fire alone is left out. Likewise, whatever has caused this particular body of this Acharya, he has consumed all the karma. Sanchita Agami iti Sarvam, he has swallowed through Jnanam. Now, because of Prarabdham, whatever Shariram has come is alone existing, and the cause for this is not existing. Nirindhana Ivanalaha, he is compassionate in nature. Why is he compassionate in nature? My Guru jokingly used to say, when you attain Atma Jnana, compassion is a byproduct. You don't have to buy this separately. It comes free when you attain Atma Jnana. So, the moment you call him Shrotriyaha, Avrajanaha, Akamahataha, Brahmavittamaha, Brahmani Uparataha, ityadi, then naturally, Ahetuka Daya Sindhuhu, he will have compassion at free of cost. And this is the bridge that which is going to connect the Acharya and the student. Jokingly, when we used to say, when two people who meet and when there is a transaction that has to happen, there is a reason for that. When will a transaction happen? For example, if one person wants to sell a house, one person wants to buy a house. If they meet, then a transaction will happen. If two people meet, of which both of them want to sell a house, there will be no transaction. If two of them meet, when both of them want to buy a house, even then transaction will not happen. So when will a transaction happen? It will happen only when one has to buy and one has to sell. The same way, the Acharya, who is compassionate and who wants to give this Atma Jnana to a disciple, has to meet with a disciple who is willing to take this Jnana from the Acharya. When they both meet, the transaction that which with reference to this context, the Atma Jnana Patha with reference to Atma Jnana will happen when these people meet. Ahetuka Daya Sindhu, Bandhu, Anamatam Satam. He is a friend for all good people. Satam, Mitra Bhavena Sampraptam, Natyajayam Katanchana, iti Ramavatare, Valmiki Ramayane, sloka varte. We have a sloka where Rama tells that these are qualities of good people. It is not a quality for me. Rama lists a few qualities there. Mitra Bhavena Sampraptam, Natyajayam Katanchana. If somebody comes and tells you that whatever mistake that I have done, you have to forgive me. I have come to you with in the need of friendship, Mitra Bhavena Sampraptam. Then Rama tells that Natyajayam Katanchana. Dosho yadhyapi tasyasyati atam etadaharhitam. This is something that which has to be followed by all the sadhus with respect to sadhus. So ahetuka daya sindhu bandhu anamatam satam. Then you go approach the Guru and you see how the Guru is present there. In this context also, there is one more sloka that which has to be quoted here, that which tells how the Guru is available and how he has to be sought out. And how is the Swarupa of the Guru? How is he present? Acharya presents it in a very poetic way. Throughout Vivekachudamani, we will be able to see the poetic outflow of Acharya. Acharya tells, Brahmananda Sukhanubhuti Kalitaihi Putaihi Sutitairutaihi Yushmadvak Kalasojitaihi Sutimukaihi Vakyamratair Sechaye Santaptam Bhavatapadavadakana Jwalabhirenam Prabho Nyaste Bhavadikshanakshanagatehe Patrikritaha Svikritaha. This slokam, as sadhakas of the Vedanta Sampradaya, this is a very, very, very important sloka to be comprehended. I'll tell you why. Brahmananda rasanubhuti kalitaihi putaihi tu sitair yutaihi. In Vivekachudamani. How is the Guru? Oh Bhagavan ne Brahmananda Sukha Anubhuti Kalitaihi. This Acharya is enjoying the Amritanubhavam of Atma Jnana. Accidentally, I used the word Amritanubhavam. Many people would definitely be aware that there is a separate text called Amritanubhava written by the great Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Mauli Jnaneshwar Maharaj from Maharashtra. And to my knowledge, this Amritanubhavam is something that which is less frequently quoted with respect to Advaita, at least in South India. So, this Acharya is the one who is constantly enjoying the Amritanubhavam like bliss of the Atman or the Brahman. He is pure. Then he is so cold in nature, which means he is so cool in nature. Whenever he talks, whenever he utters a few words of Upadesha, it is like streams coming out of the lips of a pitcher or of a pot, and it is so delightful to the ear. Yushmad Vak Kalasojitaihi Shrutimukaihi Vakyamritaihi Setaya. It is a pot that we can compare it to be a pot that is filled with nectar, which is filled with amritam, and it is like a stream coming out of that pot. Is how every word that comes out of an acharya has to be compared to. Because when you have a pot that is filled with amrita and you have a stream coming out of that pot, a line of amrita coming out, what is it coming? It is again amritam only. So whatever he talks is again coming from its own anubhava, which is atma anubhava. Shrutimukaihi vakyamritai setaya santaptam bhavatapa dahana jwalabhirenam prabho. I am so wanting to bathe in that amritanubhavam, that which you sprinkle on me. You sprinkle that amrita on me. Even I wanted that sprinkle on me. Why? Because I am constantly tormented by the worldly andas that I have. I am constantly afflicted. I am perturbed. I am constantly, to use the word, tormented by something called a forest fire. Jwalabhirenam Prabho. So on all the four sides, this forest fire has caught, and it is rushing towards me to fire me. I am already burning in it. At that point, when somebody comes and offers me a snana in amrita, how will it be? Now comes the important part. Sanyaste pavadikshana kshanagatehe patrikritaha svikritaha. See, whoever is able to have this kataksha of the acharya, bhavadikshana kshanagatehe, they are the real blessed ones, who has even got a passing glance of the acharya. Now, patrikritaha svikritaha means here they have been accepted by the acharya as his own shishya. Now, the beauty here is, when here what we infer is, it is only implied. I just wanted to have, I just want the sloka to have this meaning. What it is, even though when I am not eligible for this kataksham, when I try to tell that this kataksham by itself is going to give us everything, just like Totakacharya received the Shastra Jnana, when I am trying to attain the same, and at that point when somebody comes and tells that, no, that is not possible, because even for that kataksha, you have some qualifications to be met. Only then you will be allowed for that kataksham also. In that case, I am doing this prarthana to my acharya. If you find me not eligible for that, then make me eligible for that and give your kataksha. Don't expect me to qualify myself because I might not be able to do that. So I request you to prepare myself and then you give me that kataksha, that which will bring me away, or that which will bring me out of this samsara chakra. So these are some beautiful verses Acharya writes with respect to the Guru. Then when you start hearing the advices of an Acharya, then even this part Acharya writes it very poetic. And one more very important point that we have to mention here is the references to nature throughout Vivekachudamani. How many animals has Acharya quoted? How many real world instances has Acharya quoted? When you take a survey of this, it looks very interesting. Acharya writes telling that when you throw a bite to a fish, the fish comes and bites it, get caught. Then the fisherman is going to pull the fish. So it gets bothered by its own mouth. The same way, when a flautist or when the hunter uses a flute to make the deer come near it, when they use a female elephant to touch the male elephant to draw towards the trap. See, even today, I'm being very practical. Even today, without the help of a Discovery Channel, we will not be able to even know how these things work in the forest. We are able to know all this because of the media, because of some books that have got published, because of our own interest. You are able to stay in a place. You are already occupied and are able to know all this. But imagine how would have Acharya known all this in his 32 years, in all the travel that he has undertaken. Just imagine how concerned was he with respect to nature. He was so observant in nature with respect to every activity around him that he has observed everything, and he has brought it into Vivekachudamani also. So that is one point that has to be noted here. And when the conversation between the Guru and the Shishya starts, the Guru starts to tell Vedantartha vicharene jayate jnanamuttamam. There are some definitive statements that Acharya makes in Vivekachudamani that ends a lot of discussion. For example, will bhakti alone be able to give you Atmajnana? Will karma alone be able to take you to Atmajnana? Or what is the limitations of them? Or what is the purpose of them? All these questions that a sadhaka would naturally start acquiring through his patha, through his adhyayana kala. When he comes to Vivekachudamani, you will be able to see definitive definitions or statements made throughout Vivekachudamani. This can be experienced. So it shows the authoritativeness of Bhagavad on this vidya. Na yogene, na sankhene, karmana nona vidyaya, brahmatmaikatva bodhene, moksha siddhyati na anyatha. Look how definitive this is. The Atmajnana or liberation can be attained only by the realization of the Atman or the self. Or you identify the identity of the self with the Brahman and not by any other means such as yoga, sankhya, karma, or by rote learning. Brahmatmaikatva bodhena moksha siddhyati na anyatha. Na anyatha means na yogena, na sankhena, karmana naha, na vidyaya. Na vidyaya, it doesn't mean Atma Vidya here. It means rote mugging up of something or rote learning of the Shastras without bothering about the Atma Jnana. Any part of the Veda that you learn, you can call it Vidya. Okay. So, but Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan claims that he is Adhyatma Vidya among all the Vidyas. So here Adhyatma Vidya is something that has to be exempted or omitted. All the other Vidyas have to be considered. So you see such definitive statements. So even you do bhakti for crores of years, you keep doing karma for crores of years. Acharya is not telling that they are useless or they are without any fruit. Bhagavad is trying to tell that they have limitations. Ultimately, they will bring you to a stage where you become prepared, where you become eligible to hear the Atma Jnana from an Acharya, and that is where they end. We can see this style or this pattern of Bhagavad Acharya in all the Bhashyas, even in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita yam ishan matrenapi, even a small iota of existence of karma, encouragement of karma is not there in Bhagavad Gita. Acharya writes this very clearly. So that is again extended here. Okay. So Acharya emphasizes on many things, especially on Vairagyam again and again and again. That wish that Acharya has towards Vairagyam and especially towards the sannyasa dharma, as we repeatedly tell, sannyasasrama uddhartre namaha. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, it can be seen wherever Bhagavan utters the word sadhu, then Bhagavad Acharya will interpret it as a sannyasi. So again and again you see Acharya emphasizing on Vairagya, Vak, Vaikari, Sabdhajari, ityadi. So you speak loud speech, or a torrent of words, and your skill in interpreting the scriptures, these are useful only as means to what? As means or with respect to material enjoyment. Only when you attain Vairagyam, it will take you to liberation. You are very good in Sanskrita, you are a great Vaiyakarana, you are a great Nayayika. With respect to Vag, Vaikari, Shabdhachari, Shastra Vyakhyana Kausalam, you can do Upanyasa, you can deliver lectures, you can earn. But without Vairagyam, what will you be able to attain? You will not be able to attain anything. Then with respect to Trigunas, with respect to Sattvaha, Raja, Sattvagunaha, Rajogunaha, Tamagunaha, ityadi. Acharya uses some peculiar prayogas here with respect to Mishra Sattvam, which we commonly don't see in many Prakarana Granthas. In Vivekachudamani, Acharya uses this Mishra Sattvam. So he is very practical. Acharya is trying to tell that 100% Sattvam will not be literally possible, at least at the beginning. So Acharya encourages us by telling, see through that your Sattvam is 51%, and Rajaha and Tamaha is somewhere around 49%. This should be dominating. At least you start here so that it is dominated, and naturally you can slowly reach a stage where there is no Rajas and Tamas, if that is a possibility. Now, coming back, I wanted to convey that the way in which Acharya motivates us towards Atma Jnana in Vivekachudamani. So this is a handheld yatra. So this is not like Upanishad where you have to put in a lot of efforts in interpreting and studying. There is of course a Vyakhyana for Vivekachudamani written by the 34th Acharya of the Sringeri Sharada Pitham, Jagadguru Chandrasekhar Bharati Mahaswamina. The Vyakhyanam is useful only to enjoy Vivekachudamani. But Vivekachudamani is by itself so clear, is by itself directly representing the Advaita Tattva, which mostly do not require any more explanation to it. I can enjoy Vivekachudamani by reading the Vyakhyana. The same way for Valmiki Ramayana also. People write commentaries to enjoy Valmiki Ramayana. But Valmiki Ramayana by itself, it is so clear, evident and direct. Similarly, Vivekachudamani is so clear, is so evident that we study the Vyakhyana only to enjoy the Vyakhyana, and only to enjoy the beauty of Vivekachudamani, just something that I am trying to give you. Acharya, in a clear order, talks about the Trigunas, the Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and everywhere he is also giving you tips to overcome some problems that which a sadhaka can face. And this is the beauty of Vivekachudamani. Na jayate, no mriyate, na vardhate, na kshiyate, no vikaroti nityaha. Such Upanishadic flavor can be seen in Vivekachudamani. As we see Upanishadic flavor in Gita, the same way you see Upanishadic flavor in Vivekachudamani. I know that it was very tough for me to comprehend the beauty of Vivekachudamani in half an hour, but I have touched many parts of the beautiful bhavas that have come out of the Acharya Hridaya through Vivekachudamani. I hope I have made some justice to my topic. Namo Namaha. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rajaramanji, for unveiling the greatness of Vivekachudamani and doing justice to the title. Thank you very much for sharing your insights.